So my name's Jodi Cant. I'm the Director General of the Department of Finance here in WA, and I believe my remit is to make the public sector better. Look, I think our biggest challenge is that our citizens' needs and what they expect from government have changed very quickly, and we haven't moved quickly enough to keep pace with them. And I guess the balance of that is there's always more you can do and never enough resources. So you can't do more with less, but you can be smarter with less, and you can do better with less. I've seen more collaboration in the last 3 years in government than I have in the previous 15, 20 years. So that's a really, really good thing, because you know, when departments pit themselves against each other and fight for every dollar, you don't get efficient spending and you don't get shared purpose. So some of the projects we've got underway now, and the nature of collaboration means that, you know, instead of me building a system for $100 million and someone else building a system for $100 million, we can build a system that looks after everybody for $100 million and win-win, and who wins most is the taxpayer and the citizen. So that's my focus always on what the service delivery is. There's huge wins. I think the cross-pollination of ideas. I think career paths for public servants. So, you know, if you stay in one department for your whole lifetime, you get a very narrow view of what the public sector is and what opportunities are there. So I think there's career pathways, there's culture pathways, there's absolute fantastic delivery for citizens. What more do you want? You know, money savings, greater outcomes, and to be honest, it's much more fun if you're actually working with people than working out how to work against them or bring them down. So that's what I can't see the downside. What suppliers can do is come to the party as partners. And there's been, you know, sometimes that works, sometimes not, but it's much more powerful if we work as partners. So I don't see that it's department versus suppliers. I want my suppliers to come and say, you know, what are your problems? What can we help you with? I want fair return for my money, and I want a relationship so that I know if I need something, I can ask a question, and vice versa. So I think we've got to be a bit smarter about how we buy things. We've got to have contracts that allow us to have those relationships, as opposed to, you know, one size fits all, because that doesn't work for people. So one of the things this government has done is put forward a market-led proposals policy, which allows for ideas to come from private sector, not-for-profit sector, through to government in terms of, you know, we've got a good idea and we've given it a bit of a refresh, and we think it will really help build partnerships. So partners for me, rather than drivers or service providers, because, you know, if you're a provider, you just get the feeling that okay, well, I've ticked that off the list, and I'd prefer to build a relationship with someone always. Yeah, look, I haven't been here all day, but from what I've heard from the people that I've been talking to, it's gone really well. I think it's great to see that people feel that they're allowed to come out and talk about innovation. So in the last session where, you know, the Pop Vox said 50% of people felt like they were empowered, and while that's not high enough, it's way up from where it would have been. So I think the vibe in the room is really good. I think it's very powerful to have cross-sector discussions. I think having providers hear some of the challenges that the public sector has is good as well, and hopefully people have taken away a renewed passion to do what they love and ability to give things a go.